Realistically, the only issues are probably racism, road rage all day long. Of course, it has to be road rage with me.
So it was in the car.
It was in the car, bro. It was in the car. I was pulling out of a parking spot and there was a car coming right behind me. I didn't see it and he honks at me. So like, put my hand up and I apologize. Didn't like that. He's like, "Watch where you're going, Mexican." I'm like,
He had you confused for a Mexican.
I'm not Mexican, man. It's just, and I told him, I'm like, okay, first of all, I apologized. Second of all, I'm not Mexican. I'm Lebanese.
Right.
Then he went.
I don't think he really cares.
Oh, not at all. Because I
racist.
At that point, I just fed his ego.
Yeah.
Dirty Arab, terrorist, this and that. It's like,
yeah, he had to dig into his Rolodex to be like, okay, what are we dealing with? It's not Asian.
no,
It's not brown.
has to go into the archives.
You got to go into the archives, dig up the right file.
And yeah, man, like at that point, like I'm in uniform, right? Like I can't just, I used to do courier. I was in uniform. Can't just get out of my car and do anything about it. And even if I wasn't, I'm not going to get out of the car and do anything anyways because it's not worth it. Like at that point, I'm feeding his ego even more. But yeah, man.
I mean, how uncomfortably Arab were you being though at the time? I mean, did you have the prayer beads swinging left and right? Did you have that ethnic wedding or just that folklore music just completely destroying the peace and quiet that we're used to? Were you eating? Did you smell like shawarma? Did you smell like garlic? What type of inconvenience were you causing this man,
bro?
Ibi?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I'm in uniform, bro. I had my jack, like my windbreaker on, zipped up. I had my toque on my head.
Well, I mean, in centimeters, what was the length of your beard, Ibi? We need to talk about these
probably
things.
the length of yours. No lie.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Like I didn't grow my beard that long.
stubble.
Yeah, it was just like a scruffy beard.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think he saw the curly hair. Yes, I had hair.
Because them Arabs, you know.
Yeah, I had curly hair.
It gets uncomfortable.
Just went with a Mexican for some reason. And that's actually not the first time I've been called Mexican.
Really?
Nothing against Mexicans.
No, shout out to Mexico, man.
But because of the curly hair, they assume I'm Mexican. I'm like, I would
That's
love to be Mexican, but I'm Lebanese.
Yeah. I haven't had anything as direct as you. As an Arab, you know, I got to speak for Canada at the end of the day, right? Like our society is it really depends where you are.
100%. I agree with you.
In Canada.
I agree with you.
I feel like there's pockets. It's not as like widespread.
Even here in Ottawa, it's the same thing. Depends on which area you're in. You deal with different kinds of criticisms and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't feel like I've had any real issues. And I think that's mainly because I never really thought of myself as somebody to have an issue with for that reason, for being an Arab. Like I was never apologetic about it.
I never would be apologetic about it. I am who I am and I'm proud about it. Sorry, I am who I am and I'm proud of it.
I mean, I think that's we'll save that for another episode, but you know, self-hate in the Arab community, particularly after, 9/11 and the media and the propaganda that has built up over the years. I think people genuinely have a reason to distance themselves from the culture, be it by rebranding themselves. You're no longer Muhammad, you're now Mike. But in terms of issues that I've had, I can't say that there's been too many. And maybe there have been, but maybe I'm just ignorant to them. You know, maybe I never really noticed. Because it was never really blatant or in my face to the point where I was like, oh, you're actually profiling me.